All right, everybody, welcome to episode 4 of the RacPacShow, a weekly sports podcast. I'm here with my hosts, Chad and Ryan, and our guest, Nick, is on this week. All right, so Nick
Hope
is,
everyone had a good Christmas.
yep, Ryan didn't.
It was good.
And we're not going to talk about that.
Ryan's still recovering from COVID. I got
I'm
COVID.
here with the 3 COVID boys.
Yeah, I got COVID, but
Yeah.
I'm good now. Nick got it as well, so
Yeah,
They don't know how to
But-
keep their
recovering.
distance.
That's it.
I've
They
kept,
Still
touching each
recovering,
other.
but we'll see.
I'm a COVID survivor. All right. All right. Well, with that being said, let's jump into the matchups this week. So, no Thursday game. First game is Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 13.5-point favorites at the New York Jets. I like the Buccaneers, obviously, to win, but I think I like them to cover the spread, too. I thought Carolina was going to cover the spread against them last week, but they just got murdered, and I think the same thing's going to happen against the Jets. Just too difficult for the Jets to cover. Even I know it's 13.5, but like, man, I think Brady wants the MVP, so I think he's down to just like blow everyone out when he can the rest of the year.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that. I looked up some stuff. So I believe the Bucks will be run heavy for sure. The Jets do allow the most rushing touchdowns out of every NFL team. So and they also allow the second most rushing yards. So with Godwin
They're
out,
terrible.
Mike Evans, I hear
He might play.
now news about he might play,
They have
Better
AB.
play.
especially if he doesn't play. They're gonna pound the ball to Ronald Jones.
I saw on
That's what Bray likes. Bray likes to hand off the ball.
I saw that
Yeah.
Ronald Jones was on like NFL or whatever, put out that he's projected to be like the 5th best running back for fantasy this week. But yeah.
That definitely
Makes
starts. They're
sense.
gonna
I didn't
pound-
realize
they're
that-
gonna pound the ball to him.
I didn't realize the Jets' rush defense was that bad. Well,
Right, they won't
Well,
have any answer for
makes
Jones.
sense.
Yeah, 13.5. I think they'll cover the spread.
Yeah.
I'm hoping
I like
Mike
that.
Evans plays, man, because I got him in for my third place matchup in Mario's league. So hopefully hopefully he plays. And I heard about that like Vaughn guy.
Keyshawn Vaughn.
Yeah, sorry. I need him.
Oh,
I was looking at him in my 12-man league because I lost James Robinson, and in a 12-man league, free agents are pretty slim. So I saw his name was out there, and I knew obviously Fournette's out, and Jones is the RB1, but Vaughn is not terrible. So
He
like,
gets
I
some
don't know,
touches, yeah. I mean,
He
he
was the
could. You
one
never
that had
know.
the touchdown last week, right?
He did have
think
one.
so.
They both
Like a
did.
55 or whatever.
Him and Rojo both had a touchdown. Yeah, he had the first one. Yeah, the long one.
It's just a risky pick. I don't know if I should pick him
Yeah.
up. Something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, Le'Veon Bell only had like 2 carries for like a loss of 1, so I don't really think he'll be a factor. I think they have Bell on the roster just in case like one of those guys gets hurt, they'll have someone else. But yeah,
All right. So
we
Bucks
can-
to win and cover.
yeah, over unders at 45, but I don't know, doesn't really matter. Next game is LA Rams 4.5-point favorites at Baltimore. I'm surprised that the Rams are only 4.5-point favorites because Lamar apparently like came back to practice yesterday, but he was like limping around, like he looked like he was in pain, and then he didn't practice today. So I don't know if he'll play. I don't think he'll play. I don't know if Tyler Huntley will be off the COVID list. So if they have Josh Johnson
I think
again,
he cleared it.
oh, did he?
He
Okay,
did.
so they'll have
I
him.
saw it.
They'll have him. Okay.
And I think he's a playmaker. That guy. Just
Yeah,
like
he's
Lamar.
definitely he's good.
So-
Like, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
Rams to cover.
Yeah.
I think the Rams cover. I think they win by at least a touchdown.
I like the Ravens win actually.
You like the Ravens to win?
I got the Ravens.
You're
It's
fucking
gonna be a
high.
close one. I think I assuming Tyler Huntley will play. He did pass the COVID protocol. Doesn't say much. Ravens are home. Rams are a really good team, but I think the Ravens are gonna definitely want to answer back because of what happened to them last week against the Bengals. So I know their defense is banged up. Um, they're missing a key few guys on
Yeah,
that defense,
their
but I think
secondary is hurt.
yeah. So I think the Ravens fans are gonna be, it's gonna be a loud stadium. So I think the Rams are gonna have trouble, and I think the Ravens will actually come up with the upset here. I got the Ravens um, winning by a couple,
Yeah, I don't hate
surprisingly.
that.
So
I wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised if the Ravens won that game because Nico said it last week too when he was on that he thinks like Tyler Huntley's a better thrower, but Lamar's a better playmaker. I could agree with that. I agreed with him.
yeah,
So I don't think Tyler Huntley is very bad at all. I could definitely see them winning. It's just the thing, like how you said, is their secondary in Baltimore is just
yeah,
so beat up. So now, I mean, you saw what T. Higgins did and Jamar Chase and all those guys. Now they got to go against Cooper Kupp, who's been obviously having one of the best years ever as a receiver. Odell, Van Jefferson, like it's definitely gonna be tough. It's definitely gonna be tough. I think the Rams will win this game. Wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens won though, but I would probably take the Rams by like a field goal. Which mean, so I don't know if I would bet the spread. I kind of like the Ravens plus 4.5, but the Rams to win.
This is a tough game. I'm just gonna go with Rams money line just because I have confidence in them more than the Ravens. But it's hard to knock out the Ravens because if Huntley does play, he's actually pretty decent, like you said. So yeah, I mean I'm just gonna go safe here. Rams money line. I know Henderson is out, right? He's out. He's done for the year,
Yeah,
I
but
think.
they've apparently Cam Akers might play this week a little.
He's back, but
It's
it's just a matter of
insane.
how much playing time he'll get, how many snaps. I mean, Sony Michel looks good.
Sony Michel's
He'll
good. I
probably
mean,
yeah.
Daryl Henderson had one carry last week, anyways,
Right.
so didn't really matter.
Um,
Sony Michel's been really good.
it's gonna be a tough. It's gonna be definitely gonna be a close game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout by any means, but it depends on what kind of Matt Stafford we get. Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp. So, I mean, I know Nick loves Matt Stafford. Last week, especially. In fantasy, but yeah, that's me.
All right. Also, no Thursday games this week, which is nice. Next game, Chiefs -4 at the Bengals. This is gonna be a good game.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I like the Chiefs. Chiefs, I think I saw they're 6-0 against the spread last 6 games. They've looked incredibly dominant. They destroyed Pittsburgh, and it's not like Pittsburgh's a great team, but they're not a bad team. Excuse me.
COVID.
And the Bengals obviously blew out the Ravens, but if you look last time, I wish I would have saw this before my fantasy matchup last week, but Burrow also torched the Ravens the first time they played. So I think the Bengals are a really good team. People are going to be kind of overrating them a bit. I don't think they're as good as they were last week, like all the time. So I think the Chiefs -4, even though they're on the road, is good. The Chiefs defense is playing lights out. I saw a stat since the Chiefs played the Packers, they're the number 1 scoring offense in the league and the number 2 scoring defense in the league, which is just like that was a really important stat. So I like the Chiefs -4 here.
I agree. I like the Chiefs to win this game. I do think it's going to be a pretty high scoring game.
Yeah, over-unders at
This is
51.
a time. Yeah, this is a time where the Chiefs defense, the Bengals are home. Their fans have been really into this year. The Bengals fans. This is a time where the Chiefs defense might have a little trouble. But I do think the Chiefs will continue their win streak. They're on what, like an 8 win streak right now. They started 3 and
Something
4
like
on the
that.
year. They're
Mhm.
11-4. They're gonna go out into the jungle and they're gonna get that W. So to 8 in a row. So I think I do have the Bengals covering that. I think we said it's is it
4.
a
It's
4?
at 4. It's
four.
at 4 right
On
now.
a milder. I mean, it will be a close game. But I got the Chiefs coming on top. It might come down. It might come down to last play. Might not, but yeah, Chiefs.
I like it.
I'm gonna go with Cincy plus 4.5. I think Cincy. It's a wild card. It's one of those situations where I think, like Nick said, I think Kansas City wins, but I think Cincinnati covers. I think it's a field goal game. It comes down to a field goal. I don't know. I think Cincinnati keeps it rolling. Joe Burrow looked hot last week, and obviously he torched uh, Baltimore. But I think
That was Ryan's sit of the week.
that's right. He sucked. I think he keeps it up. They know Cincinnati. This is a big game for them. They know they have to win this. They're trying to win that division, which
I hope they do.
Which
They
is
deserve
a very close division, and then AFC North. So I'm gonna go with it. To be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me if they won the game. But I do see Kansas City winning, and but Cincinnati covering the spread, which is earlier tonight it was 4.5. You said it's 4 now.
Yeah, it's at 4 right now.
Interesting. Okay.
And obviously, I'll say the same thing I did last week. There are throughout the week, there are some times where personally I will bet early on, but right now, a game later on in the slate, I have already bet this week. But for the most part, I've been waiting till Saturday night, Sunday morning, just because of COVID news. An example last week is you look at Baltimore, you bet them early in the week, boom, Tyler Huntley's gone to COVID now. That hurt. That sucks. So that's why I think, especially with COVID as high spread as it is right now, waiting till the right before the game or the night before is probably the best, because you never know who's going to boot it out. But yeah.
If for some reason it goes down to 2.5, just give me Kansas City money line then. But as long as it stays within 4, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Plus 4.5.
Nope.
To win.
To win the game, baby.
All right, Bengals.
At home, gonna take down the Chiefs. Gonna end their winning streak. I mean, Bengals are playing for something, so they got. That hot win, so I think that's my underdog of the week too.
I like the Chiefs to win. I think the Chiefs will win by a touchdown. Not saying that the game won't be close. I just think it'll be a touchdown game. I like the Bengals though. I hope they win that division because they deserve it. I like to see the Bengals in the playoffs. For growing up, it was always the Steelers or the Ravens, always. And obviously the Browns were horrible growing up, but I would like to see the Bengals make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, with this, sorry.
No, you're good.
This is a game of firepower on offense on both sides. This, I can't think of any other game this year that consists of more offensive guru from each side. I don't know if there's any other game.
Yeah, I mean, the only other one,
both teams that on offense, Mixon
and
and all them. So this is gonna be
the only other one you might be able to say was 2 weeks ago, Chargers Chiefs, when it was Chiefs again. Of course, we're in the game, but it's the same kind of game, and that game went to overtime, and it was a last second thing. But
yeah, that could definitely.
Yeah, we'll definitely. I mean, I'm definitely that'll be probably one of the best games of the week. I'm looking forward to that one. All right, next game is the Bills, 14-point favorites at home versus the Atlanta Falcons. I don't know if I love 2 touchdowns is a lot. I know Atlanta almost lost to Detroit, but it feels like everyone almost loses to Detroit. Man, the Bills seem to just knock out good teams or bad teams, though. That's the problem. I feel like when the Bills play bad teams, they just destroy them, unless it's the Jaguars, and they'll lose. But with that said, I don't know, 14 is a lot, man. You're telling me Atlanta can lose by 2 touchdowns and still cover? I don't know. I kind of like the Falcons plus 14 there. They're not a great team by any means, but they're not I don't think they're that bad. They have some they have a good corner. They have Matt Ryan's not horrible. I mean, they have decent talent. So 14's a lot.
I think I would take the over in this game.
Oh yeah, over-unders at
4.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the safest one that I would take out of.
That's not a bad idea. It's definitely risky, but if I had to choose, plus 14 Falcons is where I'd lean personally. But Bills will
I'm just gonna
win this
go.
game.
Yeah, I've been terrible with spreads lately, but I'm just gonna go with the money line here, Buffalo money line, just to be safe. Especially if you're trying to parlay it, just Buffalo money line. It's just you never know now with the spreads. Never know. Perfect game example was the Chargers and Texans last week. You know, if you had, my lock of the week was Chargers minus 10.5, and they got
And they
murdered.
lost.
So I'm done with spreads. But I'm not done with spreads, but not as much as I used to. So I'm gonna go Buffalo money line here.
I'm also gonna go Buffalo money line. But for Buffalo, how about this? Get Devin Singletary involved
Yeah,
because
I agree.
that guy is skillful, very talented, and the last couple of weeks they've been involving him more than they used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like before that, like every game was like 6
They never
carries,
run the
7
ball.
carries.
Every run they had was with
Start
Allen.
running the ball.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. They have to stop relying on Josh Allen. Start running the ball to your skillful running back. Maybe they'll actually do something in the playoffs. Maybe.
Well, they have
Yeah.
him. They have Singletary and they got Zach Moss as well, who's
right. They have
not
to
terrible.
utilize their. They can't just be pass happy every game.
Yeah, or they just. I mean, I get in close situations they have to rely on Josh Allen, but like Jesus, I mean,
Right.
you're allowed to run the ball. Like they're like the opposite of New England. When New England played them, all they do is run the ball. Buffalo never runs the ball against anyone. I mean, like you said though, recent weeks they have, and he's done well. So I agree.
Yeah,
They
so
definitely need to
keep pounding the ball to him, and if they do that against the Falcons might not even cover. Bills might just destroy them if they
Yeah.
involve.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the Bills have that
Anyone.
knockout capability. They
Yeah.
can they can definitely blow out teams. I mean, they did it not last week, 2 weeks ago against Carolina. So, and that was another big spread.
Right.
All right. Next game is the Colts -7 home against the Las Vegas Raiders. I like the Colts here. I liked them last week. They were my lock and underdog to win. They covered both of those obviously on Christmas. They beat a good Cardinals team. Granted, the Cardinals were very sloppy in that game, but they beat a Cardinals team with essentially their whole line missing. They didn't have Darius Leonard, easily their best defensive player. They were rocked pretty bad by COVID. And Jonathan Taylor, like if you looked at the box score, like he had over 100 yards, but I don't know, in that like his first run of the game he had like a 44-yard run. After that, it felt like he didn't do much. And they still won. They still beat a good team, and I think the Colts are a very good team. I would put them. In my opinion, I think they're the second best team in the AFC. So with that said, the Raiders like are kind of a weird team. Like they barely beat these bad teams, but like at the same time they have like a 500 record. They're weird. But I like the Colts -7 here. I think the Colts have a big potential to get an early lead and just run them out of the building with Jonathan Taylor, MVP.
I agree. Darius Leonard does come back this week, so that he's the. I don't know if he's actually the captain of the defense or team, but he is.
Yeah, he is.
He's definitely the catalyst of that defense. So I think him, Kenny Moore the second. Shout out to the DeForest Buckner. Yeah, shout to the what do you call it? Hard Knocks for the Colts. This is my first time watching it.
Yeah, I can't. I gotta watch it. I can't wait.
I mean, no, just a little, not really spoiler, but that team, they a lot of takeaways, right? So in the documentary, they whatever individual player gets a turnover or takeaway, they get this shirt or something. I forgot what it says.
Yeah.
It's like this shirt. It just motivates them. It's just
that teams have had that stuff before. Yeah.
And it's the energy. They feed off one another. So the defense is spectacular. So
very
I
underrated.
got the Colts running with this one. Yeah, absolutely. Jonathan Taylor, as much as I want to say he's the MVP, which I think he is. unfortunately, he won't win it. Because
I don't know if he'll win it either, but I think I do think the Jonathan Taylor MVP case is gaining some steam in the media. So I hope he does deserve it.
It's too bad it's a quarterback award. It's just kind of like change it to like QB award or something, and like something else. I don't know.
Any word on Carson Wentz? I know he had COVID.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was a thing, but I think I remember seeing somewhere that I think he'll play. With the CDC like changing the guidelines to 5 days, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Colts money line here. To be honest with you, I'm on a Colts rush right now. I think I don't know. I see them going to the Super Bowl. I don't know. I got a weird feeling.
They're good, man. They're very good.
They're a type of team. I could just be because I'm in love with their Hard Knock show, but I could be biased. But I don't know. Like just watching that team, and now every other team could be like that behind the scenes that we don't know. But there's something about this team that just I don't know. They're like a huge family, and they play. There's no I and shit, and it's just they play. They're just a great team, and when they're all healthy, I mean, think about it. They freaking won against one of the top teams in the NFC, like Anthony said, without their top players. So, at least offensive line, and Darius Leonard. So
and that is the core of their team, that offensive line.
And it's the quiet talk. Jonathan Taylor rushed for 800 yards. You watch the game, you're like, okay, he didn't really do much, but you look at the box score and you're like, shit, he ran for 100 yards. And didn't score a touchdown. I think he was on like 11 games.
Yeah, that streak finally broke. Yeah, didn't score.
So, I mean, I see I see Jonathan Taylor scoring now this week against the Raiders home, and I don't know. I don't know what the rest of the schedule looks like, but I don't see them losing unless Carson Wentz, Taylor's out, or they get through more COVID problems and injuries. But I don't see them losing the rest of the season. So it should be I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah.
Ian score MVP my ass. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just gonna piggyback off what all you guys said. So I like the Colts. They've been hot. So
yeah.
All the way.
Then they play after this week they play the Jaguars. So I don't think they lose the rest of the year either. All right, next game. This is one of the biggest spreads I feel like I've ever seen. Patriots at home are 16-point favorites against the Jaguars.
I'm taking Jaguars.
Yeah, I like 16 is a lot of fucking points, man. Like for New England too, like dude, they're not like they've been kind of exposed. Like I mean, I think we can kind of at least I think they've been exposed. Like they're finally versus a good team. They're finally versus good teams and they're losing. Like they're not. I don't know. And Mac Jones has looked horrible. You don't even
count the fucking game that they played against Buffalo in the fucking snow.
Yeah, which they still almost lost and should have lost had, a couple guys make catches that they're supposed to. So yeah, Mac Jones looked horrible again last week. So I don't understand. Like, this 16-point spread is all in respect to Bill Belichick, clearly. But I'll take the Jaguars plus 16. They almost won against the Jets last week. Came down to last second, fourth down play in the end zone. But not saying the Jets or anything, but I like them plus 16 here.
I should keep it safe. Pats money line. It's just.
I was even thinking the Jags money line.
Jeez.
Sprinkle a little dust on that shit.
Hey, you'd be getting plus 700 odds.
I mean,
no, there's no
Patriots
shot.
have been fucking ass since the bye week, and
Belichick
Jacksonville's still looking for a win.
Yeah.
Hey, never say never. You said fucking Chargers last week.
Oh, Chargers aren't the Patriots. Chargers have been on and off all year.
That's true.
Yeah, and the Patriots were fucking on, and now they're off. So. You go off.
It's tough. If it was like, Detroit or, Miami or something, I don't know, maybe. But Jacksonville is...
Put some respect on Miami's name.
Oh, trust me, Miami's good.
Yeah.
Don't lump them in with Detroit.
Oh,
they got the longest winning streak.
fine, Carolina.
Yeah, boo.
Sorry, Nico.
Boo.
Sorry, Nico.
Shots fired.
Every
I love you,
episode.
Nico.
He's like turning this shit off. Any
But
other
I'll take the Patriots.
words?
So
Oh, good. Go ahead.
I'll take the Patriots money line. It's going to be a sluggish offensive performance by both teams.
Agree.
It'll be one of those low scoring games. You know, probably like a 17-14 win by the Pats. I think it'll be a close game. It will be close. It could even be like 10 to like 7. I don't know. I could see it being just like
an ugly game.
just a sloppy game.
Yeah.
I don't know. New
Makes
England.
sense. I could see it too.
There. It always rains and snows and all that stuff. Who knows? It might.
It might. Yeah.
Especially with the weather.
What is the
it might
fucking
rain up
weather
there.
like?
I don't know. What? I don't.
I have no idea.
If it rains, like 3-0 Patriots win probably.
3-0.
3-0.
But
under. Take the under then.
Oh,
the over under is at
what's
41 and a half.
41.
A little generous.
Yeah, I do like the under in that game. I can agree with that. The only thing that does scare me is it could become just like a blowout for the Patriots. You never know. But
never know. Yeah, we're just gonna have to see.
Yeah. All right.
How it goes.
Next game, this will be pretty good. Miami Dolphins at the Titans. Titans are 3.5-point favorites.
This is a good one.
This is a good one.
Really good.
Dolphins, first team ever to lose 7 games in a row and win 7 games in a row in the same season. Who would have guessed? They won the first game against New England, lost 7 in a row, and now they've won 7 in a row. So they beat up on my Saints on primetime. Another ugly game for my team, but plus 3.5. I like the Titans here, minus 3.5. To be honest with you, Titans beat a very good and a very hot San Francisco team on Thursday. AJ Brown was finally back. He was phenomenal. And then I don't know. I think Mike Vrabel just coaches his team well. Miami doesn't really do anything over the top. Everything's kind of like a dink and dunk kind of offense. They play safe. And I think Mike Vrabel will capitalize on that. I think he's going to play pretty aggressive on defense. I don't think he's afraid of them beating him over the top. I think Tua's going to be under a lot of pressure. And I think the Titans are going to win this game by probably a touchdown. Probably something to the tune of like 27-17 or 27-20, something like that.
I got the Dolphins winning in Music City. I read something just an hour ago or two. AJ Brown did not practice.
Yeah, the one thing I will say about that is I had him last year in fantasy, and almost every single week he starts off by not practicing. That's the only thing I will say.
Okay. I'm still going to take the Dolphins, even if AJ Brown plays. Julio's out. I mean, he's just not a factor anyways, Julio. I don't know if he draws attention to defenders. I don't know, but something
not him
this
anymore.
Year, not there. I got the Dolphins continuing it. I'm not being what do you call that? Like prisoner in the moment.
Yeah.
But starting 1-6, and then you're 8-7 now. Like you go from
there's an energy in that locker room.
0% chance of making the playoffs to like now you're in the hunt or what? I don't know.
I think they're actually. I think they're in the, like. I think if the season ended today, I think I was looking at the standings yesterday. I think they're in. Like if the season ended right now, I'll double check on that. Yeah, if the season ended right now because they have the tiebreaker, they beat Baltimore head to head, they'd be the 7th seed right now. And ironically, they'd be playing Tennessee if season ended right now. So that's the game we have at our hands at the moment. So
could be playoff matchup
preview
right
possibly. Yeah, this if the season ended today, this would be one of the matchups in the AFC. So.
See, my thing with the Titans is like they enter the season, right? They throw some curveballs. Like we're like, okay, this team's gonna be just amazing, and then they lose these weird games, right? Like like, oh, why are they playing so bad at Titans? Why they, and then they're just an inconsistent team. I know they have Henry out. They deal with injuries like across the whole board.
Henry's
But,
big
I
for
mean,
them.
Tannehill
I
sucks.
don't just trust them. And I know the Dolphins are just kind of coming in, but I'm telling you, man, these guys are gonna come in, and they're gonna come out with that W. So they're gonna Tua. He's gonna lead the way, for the Dolphins to their 9th win of the season.
Yeah, I agree. So. They're gonna use their flipper power and
flipper power.
Down in Music City, baby.
Flip them off.
I agree with Nick here. I mean, he kind of said what I was gonna say is like, Tennessee. You never know. Tennessee's been weird all year, and I think this is gonna be one of those games that they just, I don't know, play like shit. And Miami comes out and covers 3.5. Yet again, though, it is you have Miami who is on a 8-game winning streak.
7.
I think it's 8.
7-game winning streak. So they are due to lose, but I still think Miami comes out and wins here. I don't know. The defense really looked good. Not saying much because
defense is good.
Yeah, but I think they have a chip on their shoulder. I think Tua's starting to play better now. Jalen Waddle he's a freak.
He's good. He's really very good.
He's an animal.
And Devontae Parker's kind of sneaky. He's pretty good as well. And then they got decent running backs. I mean, you got Gaskin and then Duke Johnson. I picked him up. He's been seeming like the go-to guy lately. So, but I do think Miami comes out, and I think it's one of those games for Tennessee where they just play sloppy and they don't. Just one of those weird games. I don't know. I don't know what the weather's like in Nashville.
It's not bad. Nashville's usually pretty good.
But usually, I don't know. It could just be me. But whenever the games are like cloudy in Nashville, like when you're watching the game, it's like cloudy. They just play bad. I don't know what it is. It's a weird thing in my head that I thought about. So
mentality.
But yeah, so I'm going with Miami 3.5 here.
All right, so I'm on an island again. Usually I don't do too bad when I'm on an island. I think if we look back at, I haven't done the research, but I think if we look back at recent shows when I'm on an island, my record's not too shabby. All right, Battle of the Bums next is the New York Giants plus 5.5 at the Chicago Bears minus 5.5. How about them Bears? Nice win last week, yes sir. Nick's got his Bears sweatshirt on.
And after we just after I trash talked them.
Woo! Low-key, I needed them to push that to overtime because I need more points for Russell Wilson, but it was a nice win.
Sorry to cut you off, Nick. Go ahead.
Hey,
Yeah, we'll let Nick kick this off. This Bears sweatshirt.
I mean, yeah, this matchup here. I mean, two teams are eliminated. You have the Giants, who are just a complete mess of an organization. They signed Kenny Galladay to what was that? Was that a big contract? 3 years?
I think it was. Yeah.
That guy's always hurt, and they got Lennon quarterback right now or something.
Yeah, I would be hurt though too with the fucking quarterback they got.
The Giants came out this week and said that they are bringing back head coach Joe Judge and Daniel Jones at quarterback next year. So they didn't say
our special guest.
No, we're good. They didn't say about anything about the GM though, and he needs to go.
I mean, I got the Bears just winning. I'm not being biased, but the Bears will win. It will be a sloppy game. I haven't really looked much into it. I don't even know who the starting quarterback is, honestly, for the Bears this weekend. I
think they should definitely stick with Foles.
Hey, you know what? Whatever. The season's over. But
True.
It would be nice to see watch Fields get more development. Also, I got a notification. Joe Judge wants to play both Glennon and Fromm. He wants to play both of them, like switch them off or whatever.
I mean, Carolina's doing the same thing with
stuff.
Newton and Darnold. Dude,
yeah, I don't know.
In my opinion, like records aside, I think the Giants are the worst team in football. They're horrible, man.
They're terrible.
Saquon cost me in every league this year. Useless this past week, 3 points. And I was talking to Nick before the show. I don't even know if it's his fault. That team is just so awful. Their offense, they fired Jason Garrett because their offense is doing nothing. Their offense has probably been even worse since they fired him. Last week they're playing a division matchup against the Eagles, a team they beat earlier in the year. It is a 3-3 game at halftime. Excuse me, a 3-3 game at halftime, and it ends 34-3. I just don't understand. Like they are so inept on offense. They can't do anything. Like I get it, you're on your backup quarterback and like your third string, whatever, but Daniel Jones ain't like nothing special, anyways. So I that team is terrible. I like the Bears -5.5. I mean, not that Seattle's good; they're better than the Giants, and they managed to pull off a nice win against them. So
have the Bears won 2 games in a row this year?
Probably not. I don't know
Well, it's gonna be a first. Nah, Bears.
though. Yeah, I don't know
like,
about
like
the
you guys were
spread.
saying, Giants just been fucking ass. I mean,
They're terrible. Yeah.
Bears. I mean, I think Fields sits. I think it might be better off for him because
Yeah, that dude's under
you're
duress.
risking injury at that point. You don't know what kind of injury he can get, especially that trash ass O line.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's better off just sitting, learning from the sideline. That's how he finishes off the season. Let him rest up, and I think the Bears win this game. I don't know who they face next week, but maybe they end the season on a winning streak.
Last week. Called the last week.
Yeah, maybe they beat the Vikings. Ruin their
They play the
playoff
Vikings
hope.
next week.
That's right. Yeah. I called it last week. I said we start Nick Foles or Andy Dalton, one of those two. I said fuck it. I said what do you have to lose?
Yeah,
So,
I think it's smart to bench Fields for the year just because of injury stuff.
I think if Dalton's back, you start Dalton. Only because get your so-called get your money's worth. You only paid him to a 1 year, $10 million. So, only a couple games left. Might as well get your money's worth with him. Who knows what the hell is going to happen to Nick Foles at the end of this year? So, and you have your franchise quarterback. Hopefully, you don't want him to be out next year due to injury because our O line is ass. So, but like I said, Bears do pull off the win here. Is Jakeem Grant back, Nick?
I didn't even know he was out.
Hey, he's been on COVID, I think, so I'm not sure.
Oh my god, all these, so many players been on COVID protocol. I don't even know which one's out and which one.
Yeah,
that guy's a
that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, when they got him involved, he was never involved with the offense. I mean, they just got him this
right
a couple months
from the
ago.
Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean, like they didn't really. He was known as for a specialist, right?
Oh,
like the return
yeah,
specialist. When they put him in that offense against the was it the Steelers?
Vikings. I could be wrong.
Like yeah, it's one of those two
But
games. Yeah, that guy looked like this. He's fast and he's like a skill player. So yeah, I mean the Bears are just gonna run all over the Giants.
just want to, since we're talking about special teams, just want to throw a little love to Devin Hester.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Finalist in the Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
I hope he makes it.
Some
of the best moments of football for me watching as a kid was watching him do his thing.
Anytime anytime they kick to him or punt to him, it doesn't matter what you were doing. You could have been about to go to the bathroom and they're about to punt it to Devin Hester, and you're like, all right, hold on, I gotta watch this. Like you just had to watch it. We had to stop to watch, see what was gonna happen. So
and absolutely,
you know what hurts most?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying because we were talking about the Bears, RIP to Jeff Dickerson, and then also John Madden too. And it's nice to see these teams
rest in peace
pitching in for that GoFundMe for his kid, because I think they were at like they were at like 100,000, like that was their goal, and they're almost at like $1 million now.
Yeah, last I checked was yesterday, and it was somewhere around 600,000.
I checked earlier today. It was at like 900.
Yeah, I'm gonna check right now. Yeah, it's at 900.
Nice to see all these companies, pitching in, and franchises and owners pitching in. So
yeah, from all over sports too. It doesn't matter. It's good to see that. Sucks. It really sucks for that kid losing both of his parents. So hopefully he's got some good family to take care of him, and he's 9 years old, I think. So
11.
I heard he's actually pretty good at baseball too. So
nice.
Might see him in the MLB one day.
That would be a cool story.
That would be a great story.
Cool story.
I always heard JD on the radio, like a lot, and yeah, he's very, very great, a great hear, a great listen. It's unfortunate. So that's one person that they cannot replace an individual like that. Bears insider reporter, like that's just
Yeah, it's tough.
definitely not.
Him and John Madden, couple of goats.
Yeah, absolutely,
couple of goats.
You better be on the next Madden.
I haven't gotten a chance to watch that.
The special
Fox Sports special, yeah, the Madden one came out like 3 days after he died. I'm definitely gonna give that a watch, so I'm looking forward to that.
Was it after? Or was it before?
It was before. It came out Christmas Day, and he passed away the 28th. I think it was 3 days later. Or yesterday?
Or it
was yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday because Jeff Dickerson and John Madden both passed away the same day.
Okay, yeah.
All right, we're moving on.
All right, yeah. Next game. Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington football team. Eagles are a 3.5-point favorite. I like the Eagles here. Washington was absolutely annihilated by Dallas on Monday night.
Generous.
Yeah, that is. I agree. I think it's.
I'm surprised I saw that.
Probably because Washington's home.
I don't know.
Eagles are in the playoff hunt. Washington, I think, is technically in the playoff hunt, but they're not really. They stink. I think the Eagles win this game handily by a touchdown. -3.5. Book it.
I got the Eagles too. Yeah, I got the Eagles easily. That they'll Washington will not cover. The Eagles. Here's the thing with the Eagles. They're just like they have like that dog mentality with them every year. Like in the regular season,
best rushing team in the league as well.
Right, and they start. I saw something. They start 2-5 in the year, so almost like the Dolphins actually, and they're 8-7, so really close to the Dolphins. Not many people are talking about the Eagles' willpower to get to where they're at now. So I think that they do this every year. The Eagles, they always start sloppy, like the 1-4, 2-4, 3-5, whatever start of the year. Every year for the Eagles, they win games and they end up having like a 9-7, 10-6, 8-8 kind of record every season to finish the year. They always finish strong, and they're trying to finish strong this year by maybe entering the playoffs. So they got that dog mentality in them. So maybe obviously they want to bring it to the playoffs. So we'll see what they do. Got the Eagles easy right here.
I think I called it last week saying that Washington was going to get murdered by Dallas. I remember Nico disagreeing with me. And that was probably the worst performance I've ever seen in my life by a team. Now, granted, I think they had some injuries, Washington on the defense side, but still, it was pathetic. So I'm gonna go with Philly here easily. I think Washington. Like I said it before, Washington's done. I don't care who's in quarterback, and I just think it's over. I think Philly's, they're a hot team, but I don't think they're going to go anywhere. But I think they come out and beat. What's the spread?
-3.5. The Eagles.
I could take the spread, but I'm just to be safe. I'm taking the money line. Yeah, that's it for me. Washington done.
Yep, I agree with you guys. I'll take the spread though. I think they win by a touchdown or 2 or 3 or who knows 4. They might be like the Cowboys.
All right, next game is Houston Texans at the Niners. Texans are 12-point underdogs. I don't know. Texans feel to me like them and the Lions are like the bad teams that like still play people close. Like they beat the Chargers earlier in the year. They played the Patriots really close. They've had some close games. 12 is a lot, but I like the Texans plus 12, to be honest with you. Niners just lost to Tennessee. Niners were home. Niners were on the road, I think. Regardless, I like the Texans plus 12 here. I think it's a lot of points.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they build off their win from last week, and they come out and I would say put it to them, but I think it keep it a close game. So I like the spread too.
I also got that. I guess we're all agreeing a lot.
No island.
Houston. Right. I mean, 49ers will win.
I think I agree.
Houston could probably cover that spread most likely. So, Niners will eat. They're home, right? Niners are home.
Niners are home,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just Niners. They're just are they coming off a loss?
Yeah, they lost to Tennessee on Thursday.
Yeah, that's right. That was like a weird sloppy game. I mean, another thing, yeah, Niners started the season 2-4, right? They started really weird on the season. They were like, "What's wrong with them?" I think they went through injuries. Now they're 8-7. So I got the Niners are home. Fans are gonna be loud out in Santa Clara or whatever that is. Yeah, easy dub for the Niners, but yeah, Houston will cover.
Niners are gonna
that spread.
Niners are gonna kill them. Money line. I'm gonna take them though.
Oh,
Kill him, but he won't take the spread.
Hey, I would take the spread. But the last time, yes. So I'm not dealing with that shit again.
Chicken shit.
All right. Next game. Denver Broncos at the LA Chargers. LA Chargers are 6.5 point favorites.
Let me go first on this one here.
Oh, go ahead.
Chargers are, I don't know. I don't know with them.
Justin Jackson had a ball game.
Shout out to Justin Jackson.
Knocked me out of the playoffs in the league.
31 points in fantasy. Shout out, young buck. But I don't know what's going on with the Chargers, man. You guys screwed me. Minus 10.5. You were my lock. This game scares me.
I can't take this serious.
Game scares me. So, I don't know. Give me a Chargers money line. Chargers money line.
I'll be a little more ballsy. I'm gonna take their spread. I think they bounce back. They keep that second place in the West and take it to the Broncos a little.
I'll see you here next week.
Herbert's a hit or miss. I feel like every week, so I just feel like he's gonna hit this week after a disappointing game.
Yep.
It's the Texans.
See you here next week, Chad. Disappointment.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If this was 6.5, I do like the Chargers on this one. I agree with Chad. I think they bounce back. Now if season ends today, they're not a playoff team. Last week, me personally, and I still think they are a very dangerous team because of what they can do. But they wouldn't even make the playoffs today. So they are definitely very desperate. Could say the same thing about Denver. I just don't think Denver has the firepower they do. I think the Chargers are going to win this one by a touchdown. I wouldn't bet the spread. This is one of the ones where I would not bet the spread. I'd probably take the Chargers money line.
Drew Lock's playing.
Yeah, no, I think Teddy's playing.
He's alive?
Teddy as an underdog on the run.
Teddy hasn't practiced yet. Still concussion.
If Teddy plays, I'll take the Broncos plus 6.5. But if he doesn't, I'll take the Chargers minus 6.5. Teddy covers.
Yeah. I got the safe pick. Chargers. It's their bounce back game. Eckler is returning.
Yeah.
So they'll have
Ryan.
So they'll have both.
Eckler didn't matter last week. They had JJ.
No, but yeah, they'll have both. So when Eckler needs a rest for a player or two, you give it to Jackson. So then Jackson will do some good work. So I mean, yeah, I got the Chargers here, making this is a game they need. So I think they will execute.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Next game, Arizona Cardinals. 6.5 point underdogs at Jerry World, Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I'll take the Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys looked incredible.
And their spread.
It's a dangerous, tough game, man.
Yeah, it is very. I kind of like the Cardinals.
I can't trust Arizona. They've been.
I get it, but I still think they're a good team. I like Cardinals plus 6.5 here. I like Dallas to win the game, but I think it's gonna be like a field goal. I don't think this game's gonna be crazy high scoring. I would think probably closer to like a 23-17, 23-20 kind of game. and I think the Cowboys win it. Cardinals just got to stop shooting themselves in the foot, man. Like the penalty, I was watching the game on Christmas Day. It was brutal to watch, to be honest with you. Like it felt like there's a flag on every play. Like Arizona's always doing something stupid. So yeah, I do. And Dallas was on the opposite end, right? They looked phenomenal. Like they annihilated the Washington football team. So, but I do think the Cardinals will cover that plus 6.5. I do think they'll at least do that. So,
I got the Cardinals.
I'm gonna go with Anthony
winning.
With that. Oh, winning
on an island.
I got the Cardinals winning this game in Dallas.
Could see it.
Dallas. They've been on a roll, but they could. They usually have some disappointing games against some good teams. So I could see Arizona coming on top here. James Conner was at practice today. He probably will be back. They'll have that James Conner and Edmonds 1-2 punch. So Hopkins is obviously gone for the year, but who they have Kirk and
AJ Green.
Ertz looked good last week.
Yeah, Ertz has been good.
Ertz.
He's been like a lot. Anytime I have a same game parlay, every time I do a same game parlay with the Cardinals, I always put him 3+ receptions because it hits every time.
That's the easy one.
Lost the parlay though. All I needed was Kyler to score a touchdown. I would have made like $90 off a $10 bet, and he almost had one. But whatever. All right.
I'm with you, Tim the Tap Man. Go Cowboys.
Next game is gonna be Detroit Lions at Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are 7-point favorites at home. I like Detroit plus 7. Detroit.
I didn't know Jared Goff was out last week.
Yeah, I knew that. And I.
No shot. You were muted, right?
I muted myself. I don't know.
No,
I just stopped talking after that. I said, that's all I had to say right now.
I know, but you kept.
you were like
your hand movements. I'm like, no fucking shot.
I like the Lions plus 7 here. They play everyone close. Like they almost beat Atlanta without Jared Goff last week. Seattle stinks. Like Russell Wilson just doesn't look the same. Cost me in fantasy, so fuck him. Come to the Saints though, and then I do like the Lions plus 7. I like the Lions. I think the Lions can win that game.
I think the Lions will win that game. So they will come out there. The Seahawks will have back-to-back home losses against NFC North bottom feeders. So Bears and Lions. So the Seahawks just lost to a third string. I mean, yeah, it's Nick Foles, right? You say third string quarterback, and this a busted, weird Bears team. They lost that team, so I think the Lions will come out there. I like St. Brown, man. That guy, last couple weeks, or 3 weeks, actually, 4 weeks, has been. It looks like Goff likes Lawrence right now. He's found. Too bad they lost Hawkinson, but I got the Lions here. They play everyone close, like Anthony said, always, all the time. Despite their record shows, doesn't really tell the whole story. They're gonna call them top, man. It's gonna be. Seattle will probably cover the spread, but Lions here.
I could go with the spread of the Lions here. I've been on them a lot, but I'm gonna go Seattle money line at home. I don't know. It's Detroit, but the time I go up against Detroit, they're gonna win. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going Seattle money line here.
Yeah, that boat's sailing the island, and I'm jumping with Nick and Anthony.
All right.
I'm riding along.
All right. Let me look here. Next game is the Carolina Panthers at the New Orleans Saints. Saints are 6.5-point favorites. Taysom Hill's back from COVID. Saints are getting a bunch of people back from COVID. Demario Davis was out. He's a big piece of that defense. Hopefully, their right tackle and left tackle are back. Kind of the reason Ian Book was under so much pressure is because the both offensive tackles, who are both very good. Ryan Ramczyk is a former first-team All-Pro. And Teron Armstead is also a multiple-time Pro Bowler at the tackle position. So you're missing both of those guys against a good Dolphins defense. That's just gonna happen. So, Saints minus. I don't know about the spread. I think this could be a close game. Both these teams are not good, but I would probably just go Saints money line here. I think they're gonna win.
I agree. Next person.
Agree. Yeah, Saints. They're gonna wanna. I got Saints money line, but I mean, you said Anthony, a couple of their guards or offensive linemen. I mean, if they come back, the Saints are gonna wanna explode offensively. The last 2 games, you know.
Yeah, and they're technically
I mean,
still in the hunt as well, playoff wise.
yeah.
But
So I mean, well, they scored 9 points against Tampa. I mean, granted they won, but how many did they score against
the
Miami?
offense has been 3. Offense has been pitiful all year.
So you know they're gonna want to come out there. Hill's back. Mayor's still out there, right? I mean, they're gonna want to just explode offensively. And
I think this is technically looking at this game. It's a game of 2 defenses here. Over unders at 38. I like the under. I took the under in the Monday night game, and that hit easily. It's a team of 2 defenses in my opinion, and I like the Saints defense better. I like the Saints offense more than I like Carolina's offense. So, I like the Saints here money line for sure.
Yep, Saints money line. Or Ian Book.
I'm just glad I got to see him play. See something. Next game is the Sunday night matchup. Packers at home, 7-point favorites against the Minnesota Vikings.
11-point favorites?
No, 7.
Oh.
Oh my God.
11 would have been a lot. Vikings won last time at the very last minute off a field goal.
It's a desperate game for Minnesota, so because they just lost
a
the
lot
Rams.
of mistakes.
So they're going to be playing their hearts out because they need to win. This is a huge game. It's huge games for both teams, honestly. Green Bay kind of trying to get that number 1 seed, and obviously Minnesota trying to make the playoffs. So I mean, are they in the hunt?
Minnesota?
Wild
Yeah,
card?
I think Minnesota is.
I'm gonna
check right
now.
I don't think they're in playoffs right now.
No, they're definitely not in. They're 8th seed, so yeah, they're 1 out.
Yeah, so this is a huge game. Unfortunately, I do take. I can't do spreads on this game because I don't know what's gonna happen. But I'm gonna take Green Bay money line. It's Aaron Rodgers at home Sunday night. It's whenever Aaron Rodgers is Sunday night, he always goes off. So, yeah, Green Bay money line here.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. Like the Packers have showed like kind of some weakness. I guess there's a stat I saw that they're like 31st against like yards per carry or yards per game against the run, which showed against Cleveland. They were running all over them. It was interesting. I mean, they barely win against backup Tyler Huntley, Baltimore. Baker throws 4 picks on Christmas Day to them, and they still only win by 2 points and almost lost that game on that last drive. So I do think the Packers win this game. Like Ryan said, Aaron Rodgers always shows out on Sunday Night Football, but I kind of like the Vikings +7. They won earlier in the season. Green Bay hasn't looked as dominant as they have in the last couple weeks, so I like the Vikings +7, but I like the Packers to win.
I'm with you, Anthony. Packers will win. Vikings +7. There's a few key things here. Jair Alexander's back.
That is huge.
I forgot what he had.
He was hurt with something.
Right, and then Thielen's out. Adam Thielen is out for the year.
Out for the year.
Those are just 2 things. Like Vikings, 1 receiver down. Packers, they get their star cornerback back. So I mean, Packers are home. Aaron Rodgers is home. I mean, so it's just they're gonna be too much for Minnesota. Despite if Minnesota will still just cover the spread. But if Thielen was still playing and Jair
Alexander
would be
was
out.
out.
I know it's only 1 player each. I know it's not crazy, but that's the difference right there. I don't know, but Jair is just an absolute stud.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Could be arguably the best cornerback in football, arguably. But I got the Packers here with Minnesota covering. But Vikings play everyone tough though.
True.
I'll tell you that. I feel like every week, literally almost every week, the Vikings are just head to head with every team, and they lose crucial games, man. They give up these last minute like nonsense in
Yeah.
these games. They cost themselves. So they have to play to the last minute. So if that's probably what they won't do. So I mean that's why I got the Packers. So
Yeah, I like the Packers money line. Obviously at home, they haven't lost in how many freaking games at home? It's been a while. I mean, I know Vikings are pretty good like covering the spread, but I think Packers win by their spread. I think they win by -7.
All right.
I think they just take it to them.
All right, next game. One of my favorite games. This is the one game I've already bet. Monday night, Cleveland Browns, 3.5-point favorites at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I already put this is 3.5 when I bet it as well. I bet on the Steelers spread, and I put a little bit on the money line as well. Big Ben's last game, presumably in Pittsburgh, at home, anyways. Last game at Heinz Field. Baker's not look good at all, and Pittsburgh's got a decent defense, or good defense. TJ Watt is a stud, so I like the Steelers plus 3.5 here. Bounce back after an embarrassing loss in Arrowhead. I think Big Ben leaves Heinz Field with a W in his last start.
Yeah, I'm swimming back to the USS Anthony. I'm Michael Phelps in that shit way back. I'm hopping on that, so I like that too.
I mean, I totally forgot about that last game at home, Big Ben, but gonna be the party pooper here. I think Cleveland comes out and wins this game. It's like most games this week, a must win for Cleveland. Coming off a tough loss against Green Bay last week. Now Baker's hurt and everything, but I just think I think it's a big game, and I think Cleveland. Did they? What was the score when they played last?
Steelers in Cleveland. Yeah, they had.
Yeah, like in the 20s or something. Or like right below it.
I'll tell you right now.
15-10.
Cleveland, right?
No, Pittsburgh.
Wow. Okay.
Okay,
that's a good one. I'm still gonna go with Cleveland money line here, though. I think they come out and win. It's tough because I do love Big Ben. I do want him to see him. I want to see him go out and win. But if I'm betting money on this, money over my feelings. So I'm gonna go with Cleveland's money line here.
My man.
All right, well, I'm gonna like opposite what Chad said. I'm gonna Michael Phelps my way away from the USS Anthony and go on Ryan's side here because I'm also gonna say the Browns are gonna spoil Big Ben's whatever you want to call it party. Last home game party. Chubb's gonna run all over that defense. I know they got TJ Watt, but Steelers gave up the most rushing yards. Actually, they're number one giving up yards for rushing. So I think Chubb will just gash on them. You said Baker's hurt. I really.
Well, he's been hurt all year.
Fucking hurt.
He's been hurt all year. Yeah.
I mean, whatever. It's just gonna be I will think it'll be a slow game. Why not have someone spoil it? I'm all for the spoiler. So, I mean, the Bears did spoil Brett Favre's retirement night on Thanksgiving.
True.
In Green Bay, 5 years ago, and that was awesome to watch. So let's watch a Browns spoiler on Steelers. So I got the Browns money line here.
All right.
Trouble gash them. So.
All right. Well, that is it for the matchups this week. Did we want to keep it NFL? Ryan, do you want to go through your hockey bets? We can go top 10, start sits. What are we thinking?
There's not many hockey games, so I could just run through them really quick.
Okay.
There's only 4 games. Chad, I don't know if you did hockey or not. Okay.
Oh, I was gonna let you talk. I was gonna talk over you. I thought you were just continuing. Yeah, I got you.
So the first game is Edmonton versus New Jersey. Now hockey has been really weird ever since it came back from the whole COVID thing. So like I haven't really been watching as much since it came back. But it's been really weird lately. So I'm going my gut here. Obviously, Edmonton versus New Jersey. I'm gonna go Edmonton money line. Edmonton puts up a lot of goals, but New Jersey has been playing well. It's hard for me to go against Edmonton, so I'm gonna go Edmonton money line here. This next game is the rest of the games here are pretty damn good. Anaheim versus Vegas here. I'm going Anaheim plus 1.5. I think they cover. I think it's gonna be a 1 goal game. These guys are they got decent goaltending for both teams, and they're two good teams, and I don't see it being a blowout. So I think it's gonna be Anaheim covers 1.5. Next game is the Rangers versus Tampa Bay. Now, after seeing what happened tonight, Tampa Bay just got absolutely obliterated, 9-3, I think, against Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of worries me a little bit, but I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay money line here. Tampa Bay's home. Coming off a blowout loss like that tonight, I think they come back tomorrow strong. Even though New York has been really good. Shout out to Panarin. They had that sick ass goal yesterday. I don't know if anybody saw it.
In the
Go to my
legs.
Twitter. Go to my Twitter and follow my page. It's there.
Plug it in.
Last game is Washington versus Detroit. Fuck Detroit. Detroit's been playing well. Hate to say it, but I'm gonna go Washington money line here. Alex Ovechkin. We've talked about him before. Hard to go against him. He scores, the top scorer in the league. Hard to go up against him and Backstrom. So going to go Washington money line here, and that's all the games. This is for tomorrow, Friday. Those are all the games there. That's Ryan's picks right there, hockey picks. So.
Ryan's 60 seconds. Yeah, I think. I mean, it's kind of tough because like the Oilers, their goalies have been fucking ass. Devils can kind of score, but obviously the Oilers can too. I mean, Oilers have been struggling, so I mean that one's a tough game.
Right.
I think if anything, I'd take like New Jersey. Their spread. The Ducks, I do like their spread. Obviously, they're number one in the league, and they just play well. The Knights are obviously good, but they lost Pacioretty, so he's down. I think they have some other guys that are also down, some other key guys. So I do like the Ducks here. Rangers, I like the Rangers. I think Vasilevsky is still out with COVID, so I don't think whoever their backup goalie is. I mean, yeah, they got shit on today, and I think they're gonna get shit on tomorrow. So I think I like the Rangers on that one. And then yeah, the Capitals. I like the Capitals because obviously fuck the Red Wings.
All right.
Oh yeah.
And yeah.
All right. So I'll get going into my top 10 here. So there was some movement this week. Obviously, with some teams losing. So my top 10, I have the Chargers at 10. I know they're not in the playoffs right now, but I still think they're super dangerous because of Herbert. So tough, really awful loss against the Texans, but I still think they have a chance to make the playoffs, do damage. 9, I have the Cardinals. Cardinals are just really fell off in recent weeks. Looked super sloppy against the Colts. Lost to the Lions. Similar to the Chargers, really bad loss. So number 8, I have the Bills. Beat the Patriots, who I thought are pretenders. Turns out I'm right so far. Bills explosive on offense. Need to run the ball better, but good on both sides of the ball. Very dangerous team if they get into the playoffs. Currently leading their division. 7, I have the Bengals. Another really good offense. I think they're clicking right now. They're all these guys are super young. There's something like they're all under the age of. They have 2,000-yard receivers, a 1,000-yard rusher, and a 4,000-yard passer, something like that. And they're all under the age of 26. So really bright future in Cincinnati. 6, I have the Cowboys. I don't think we should overreact to the loss against the Washington football team. I've always said that if Dak plays well, I think they can blow teams out. But Washington just looks super sloppy. I think that was more of like not only was it Dallas beating them, Washington was also just beating themselves. Like, it was just an ugly game for them. Next, I have the Bucks. Even without, even with all the injuries they had, still blew out the Panthers. Not saying the Panthers are anything special, but I'm not doubting Tom Brady, so Bucks at 5. 4, I have the Colts. Colts, definitely the second best team in the AFC. To me, almost were top 3 for me. It's close between them and the team at 3, but very. We said it earlier. Very underrated defense. Can pound the ball. Hope Jonathan Taylor wins MVP. Carson Wentz has been just fine this year. It's hard to see a weakness on that team. So, number 3, I have the Rams. I think they are another team with a lot of firepower. I think they, similar to the Cowboys, I think Matt Stafford plays well there in really good shape, and I just think Matt Stafford's better than Dak Prescott. So, one of the best corners in the game, arguably the best defensive player in the game, in Aaron Donald. They got studs everywhere, so we'll see. And Cam Akers coming back. 2, I have the Packers. Like I said earlier, Packers have kind of shown some weakness in the past couple weeks. In close games against a backup quarterback. Close game even though they got 4 picks. So still love Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams and that offense. And like Nick had said earlier, Jair Alexander coming back is huge for them. So number 1, I have the Chiefs. I said it earlier, since they beat the Packers, number 1 scoring offense, number 2 scoring defense. So I think that speaks for itself. They're blowing everybody out. They're blowing the top off the stadium event, wherever they're playing. So I like the Chiefs at number 1 for me. Current Super Bowl prediction is still Packers, Chiefs, but I had been saying Packers would win. Now I think the Chiefs would probably win. They played today, so that's it for top 10 though. So I don't know if you had one, Ryan, or if you didn't do one this week or not.
No, not this week.
Ryan's been dealing with some
man's been on his
bad
fucking
COVID.
deathbed.
Yep.
Yeah, I've just been. I could do one, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I don't know, Nick. Did you have it or
On the
no?
input there, Nick. I mean, you could do like a top 5
like
or
a power ranking.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did one or
no,
not.
I didn't create one.
You
I
don't
can't
need
just
one.
think off.
We could do like a
No,
top
you're
5
good.
or something if you want.
All I know is that I have
Yeah,
the Colts. Colts pretty high up for me.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
They definitely. I think they were like my number 10 or 9 or something. My last week or 8. I don't even know. They're definitely in the top 5 for me now.
They're really good.
But it'll be interesting to see these next couple weeks.
Yeah,
what happens?
So some of these games this week already feel like playoff games, starting to get to that win or go home kind of atmosphere, which will be really exciting football to watch. So I'm looking forward to it for sure.
With an extra week of football now, it definitely makes things interesting. Now there's an extra spot in the wild card, so I think was it AFC or NFC. The wild card was literally like everyone was like 8 and 7 or something.
I think it's the AFC.
Yeah. It's like literally a game, like from like in the hunt teams to like in the wild card teams. Like it's insane what could happen in the next. There could be teams that's in the wild card now that could be out of it in 2 weeks.
For an example, right now the 3 seed is the Bengals at 9 and 6, and the Vegas Raiders are the 10 seed at 8 and 7. So yeah, the AFC we're looking at 9, 10 teams or 8 to 10 teams or whatever are all kind of in the hunt. So be interesting for sure.
It's gonna be fun to watch from a football fan perspective. So
yeah. All right. I can run through some starts and sits this week. We can just talk about fantasy a little bit. Nick, how is your fantasy season going?
So I joined 7 leagues this year. And most I've joined. One of them was a family league, so like I don't really count it.
You drafted blind.
So I mean, I drafted open.
Auto pick.
Drafted
blind. No, yeah, auto pick. No, I actually drafted. But anyways, so let's look at 6 leagues, okay? So I made out of all leagues, I made playoffs except for one. So right. So the good start. I'm like, let's go. It's all good. I had a bye week in one of them. Then the next week rolls around. Well, the first week I lose a couple Okay, and then I had the bye week, which covered me, and then the week after, which was just the week we just had, I lost a couple more crucial ones, and well, I won one, which led me to one championship that I'm in going to be for this weekend. In this particular league, um, I won last year, and hopefully I'll be back to back. So I hope hopefully I'm playing it's a tough opponent. I have so this guy's got a lot of studs on his team. He's got Stafford and Cooper Cup, so I'm a little nervous about that. Like, and he's got Rodgers, and off the top of my head, I'm just trying to think here. He's got some firepower on that team, but I don't know. I got Mike Evans on my team, and
Hopefully he plays.
Tom Brady. So yeah, and Chubb. So I got a few good guys on my team. I just want to name only a few off the top of my head, but yeah, that's just out of well, 6 leagues. I'm in one championship. Hopefully, I win. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
like I said last week, I was in 2 championships. Or not 2 championships. Sorry, I was in playoffs in 2 leagues. To get to the championship, lost both. I wish. So Sunday before the games, I didn't get home till around 12:31. I was frantically trying to find a place to get a COVID test because I hadn't been feeling well, and I knew Ryan had it, and I kind of saw him that week. So, I was looking for that, and so I didn't really get updated on stuff. So I really wish the one thing that killed me in a league is it's a league where I was the reigning champion in as well. I had Russell Wilson and I had Joe Burrow. I really wish I would have saw that Seattle had a snow game, because had I seen that, I would have put Burrow in 100%, and I would have won my matchup had I done that. But um, it is what it is. But yeah, I had one league. I was 13-2, won 7 games in a row to end the year. I had it was a 2 quarterback lead. I had Rodgers and Stafford. I had Jonathan Taylor, Cup, Jamar Chase, Deontay Johnson, Saquon, and they all just kind of didn't do anything. Like, I mean, it's Cooper Kupp had a bad game, and his bad game was like 17 points. But Stafford had one of his worst games. Saquon was terrible. Jonathan Taylor had like 12 points, so lost. That one disappointed me the most, but lost both my leagues. So this will probably go down as my worst fantasy season ever. Personally, only made playoffs in 2 of the leagues, and then lost the first playoff game of each league. So kind of relieved in a sense that this fantasy season's over, just because it's been so brutal for me. But yeah.
Yeah. As you mentioned before, I was in 7 leagues. I only made 2. One league, my 12-man league, I'm going to the championship. But I'm down Thielen and Robinson, so that's gonna hurt. My other league, I lost, but I'm playing for third because there's money involved. So that one should be interesting. So, last week of fantasy, I have something to play for. Hopefully, I could find something in this 12-man league, come out and pull a win. I got to dig deep. That's why I think I got Duke Johnson starting my 12-man league. So hopefully he can pull off a touchdown. But I'm looking forward. I mean, I'm not looking forward to ending the season ending because I love fantasy football and I love football. But it'll be nice when it's over. Focus on fantasy hockey, which then will lead into fantasy baseball, which is exciting.
Really looking
So,
forward to that.
it'll be coming in the near future. So, but
Hopefully
yeah,
all
that's
this hopefully all this COVID shit gets kind of figured out in time for baseball season, so we're not dealing with all this shit during the baseball season as well, with
on the
postponed
lockout.
games and fucking everyone going on COVID lists. Like, at least, like, for example, like CDC this week came out and like, oh, it's a 5-day thing now, because 10 days would suck in MLB. You're missing like probably like 7 games, 8 games. Yeah, like
as a pitcher.
As a pitcher, you're missing a couple starts, so that'll suck. So and now
you also got to be asymptomatic. It's not like it's just 5 days.
Yeah. It said if you're asymptomatic or your symptoms are noticeably reducing, down there. But yeah, so I'm really hoping COVID's kind of, getting by in time for baseball. But yeah,
Well, the temperature gets warmer and that's when it goes away. So
mm-hmm.
we'll see.
Yeah, I'm over all the COVID stuff. That's why that was another part of the reason I was a little bit relieved when my season ended this week because man, I hope I'm praying next year we have a normal football season, normal fantasy football season. Because, last year we had no fans and like there was some COVID stuff. This year was, especially the tail half of the year, was brutal with COVID. Like guys were going on the COVID list constantly, big names. Like Nick got screwed in our one league. He had, he was the first seed. He had Dalvin Cook. He had Eckler.
Oh yeah.
Both of them are gone. And I had
someone else, I think.
I had Madison's backup, and the guy who was versing had Eckler's backup, so he couldn't even have those guys. He has Mike Evans, who was hurt, I think. But yeah, so it was.
I have Mike Evans. Yeah, and I had to. I mean,
it's yeah. I mean,
I tried finding good replacements, and then didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like it's shitty to like have your fantasy season go so well. Like you're the first seed, and then first week you're missing literally your first two picks, your top two guys, Dalvin Cook and Eckler. It's shitty, and then like. Yeah, so it's a shitty way to end the season. So I'm hoping next year is just back to normal. But with that said, I still did do starts and sits this week. So I'll just run through those really quick. I'm not gonna go over what I did last week, but so for quarterback, I said to start Hurts. He's been really good in fantasy this year, playing Washington, who got killed. So. Sit Russell Wilson. He's been a utter disappointment this year for fantasy. It was looking good. I had him and DK Metcalf as my start last week. They connected on it was like a 25-yard, 30-yard touchdown or something like that. First play of the game, I'm like, oh, this is gonna go well. DK Metcalf got one ball after that. So Russell Wilson, that Seattle offense looks terrible. So running backs, I would start. I kind of have two. Sony Michel and Ronald Jones. I think just off of the other running backs being injured, I think they're going to get a ton of touches. I think they're going to do well for you. I had him as my sit last week. I have him as my sit again. Josh Jacobs. I know he ran for it was 129 yards, something like that. But even with that, didn't really score that much because, like I said last week, he doesn't really catch the ball. And they got a tough matchup against the Colts this week. And like we said, and Colts are one of the better teams. So I would bench him. And then I would start Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper came out before their game last week and said, and he's someone who doesn't really talk, and he was kind of saying, I need the ball more. And he had a pretty good game. I think he had 85 yards in the score against Washington. So I think he continues on that pace. So I'd start him. Sit DK Metcalf. Goes in line with Russell Wilson. That offense just doesn't work. I don't know. They're just a mess, so I wouldn't start him. My start this week is Zach Ertz. I think the Cardinals are going to play well this week. They're kind of everyone's down on them right now. They kind of need to, get hot for the playoffs. So I think Zach Ertz is going to be a big part of that. So I think he'll catch a touchdown or two and could win you your championship. He was my sit last week. He's my sit again, and he was good last week. Dalton Schultz. In a game where they scored 56 points, it makes sense that he got a touchdown, but they're not going to do that every time. Dallas has a lot of weapons, and that it's not that he's bad or they're in a bad matchup. It's the fact that, they have CD and Cooper and Gallup and Zeke, and it's just a lot of mouths to feed, so it's hard to depend on him, but I would sit him this week. And those are my starts and sits for the week for your fantasy championship. All right. So...
Ready to get into locks and upsets if we want.
Yeah, let's get into locks, upsets, and we can call it a wrap. All right, let's go locks of the week. So last week I had the Colts +1. They covered. They won. They were also my underdog and won. So I had both riding on the Colts. So I think I'm currently 2-1 in lock and underdog picks in both.
Go ahead, Chad.
No, you guys can go ahead. I'll go last and let Nick go.
Well, I gotta. All right, for upsets, you go before me because you might have the same thing I do. I don't know. My lock of the week is Bucks. Bucks minus 13.5. I think they cover 13.5. I think that's a lock. So And after all my talk about not going against the spread, here I am doing it anyway. So, but I'm confident in the Bucks, 13.5. So.
All right. Just to give my lock of the week for this week, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs -4 at Cincinnati. I just feel comfortable. 4 points isn't that many, and they're, in my opinion, the best team in football. So I'm gonna go Chiefs -4 for my lock.
You got any, Nick? Or
so for the lock, like I could just pick the money line too for them.
Kind of. We try to keep it to like a. You don't want it to be some like a 9, like a 5 minus 500 odd type of thing.
Try and spread it.
Try to do a spread if you can, but you don't have to.
Well, I mean like a top 10. But I got the Pats locking. I have number 1 for the Pats. That's a lock game for me. They'll control that game over
the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Over the Jaguars. So.
So you're saying the money line for that,
or the spread?
I will say money line.
I guess the spread
that's a lock. No, I know. Yeah, I got.
All right.
Yeah, that's a lock.
Yeah, I think my lock. I'm going to continue with the Packers spread. I mean, they've kind of
1 and 2 with them.
The Ravens fucked me on 1 because they decided to go for 2 instead of tie the game, push the OT. So I'm not really too worried. I mean, they've won every game that I've picked them. It's just the spread, and they've been fucked by the other team not doing shit that they're supposed to be doing. So, but I think they take it to the Vikings, knock them out of playoffs, and give them the middle finger.
All right. We can move on to underdogs to win. My underdog pick to win this week is the Steelers at home against the Cleveland Browns. I said earlier, I already bet the spread. I already bet the money line. Big Ben's last game. I'll take the Steelers to win at home as underdogs.
You got one, Nick?
Yeah, my underdog of the week, as I said earlier, the Ravens. They're clear underdogs. They're home. It's a new week. They want to make up for last week. Giving up that many points, they don't want to do that. They're going to make some changes. Hopefully, John Harbaugh and the rest of the coaching staff will. I'm sure they will prepare the Ravens defense, just overall the whole team as a whole against a very notable opponent in the Rams. So they're going to come out there, and I think they will turn it around. Surprising a lot of people, despite them being home. I think that the Ravens are the underdog winner here. I got them.
I like it.
Do you want to go? Or you want me to go?
Well,
I could go 2 ways with it.
I'm gonna go, but like if you have the same one as mine, I'm gonna go a different one. I have Cincinnati money line.
Motherfucker.
If you have Cincinnati money line, I was also gonna go Miami.
Because I have another one. I said that earlier too, but that's fine.
Go ahead.
My underdog, I think I'm just gonna go with Miami. Ride the hot streak, ride the Dolphins. I'm gonna ride them all the way to fucking Tennessee.
All right.
Flip some shit, and we're gonna turn back to Miami and enjoy the nice weather down there.
All right, those are all gonna be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if all those underdogs won, but not the Bengals because the Chiefs are my lock. So,
you got a top 10, you said, Nick?
A top 10 locks. I got locks.
He can do that. I don't care.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Top 10 locks.
Just run through them real quick.
My first time doing it, so I just go ahead and do it.
Are these all money lines?
They're all money lines. Yeah.
All right, they're all money lines.
I made a list, so
this will be the 10-legger parlay. Go.
Here's Nick's 60 seconds.
So I start from 10 to number 1.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so 10, I got the Cardinals over the Cowboys. I think they go out in Dallas and take care of business.
Okay.
Making up for last week's performance. Number 9, I got the Bills taking care of business in Atlanta. So that's Atlanta will keep it tough with them, but I think the Bills hopefully will run the ball. But regardless, they will still they'll still come on top. They're the clear favorite here. Number 8, I got the Browns. They will go to Pittsburgh to just to spoil Big Ben's retirement party. So, or last game party, whatever you want to call it. I think retirement party, anyways. 7. 7. So I'm just reading my list here. I mean, I put Green Bay at 7. I don't know. I feel like I should put them up, but I'll just stick with them at 7. Because of the there's a few Jair's back and stuff, and Dylan's out. I'll just keep Packers at 7. 6 Chargers. They'll have a makeup game after the last week's pitiful performance against Houston. They want to make up for. They don't want to lose. They don't want to lose to another underdog. So they want to get back on the winning column and try to get in the playoffs, sneak in the playoffs. 5 Colts. They should who are they playing? Shoot.
Raiders.
Raiders. So the Colts, they're home, I believe so. They will take care of business. Raiders are a really weird team. They're up and down, but I think this is the down time for them. So I think the Colts will easily take care of them. Number 4, Dolphins they will definitely go. They will beat. I will see them beating Tennessee. They're just Tennessee is just too inconsistent. I don't trust them. Miami, I don't want to bet against them right now. They've just been winning, so I'm just taking the safe pick. So Miami there. 3 49ers. They should beat Houston easily. No way Houston has back-to-back underdog wins. Not saying it's not going to happen. You just never know, but it's just, especially when you're facing the 49ers in Santa Clara, I just got the 49ers there. It's a safe bet. 2, I got the Bucks. The Bucks will definitely beat
Jets.
The Jets. So and I saw something funny too. Now to bring it up, I think this is like the widest age gap.
Oh, between quarterbacks.
Yeah, Brady's like 24.
Shit, I thought you said whitest.
No.
I was like, we're getting canceled.
Widest.
So no, yeah. So Brady's 44. Zach Wilson's 22. That's 22 whole years right there. You're talking about like
that's wild.
Growing up, going to preschool and all that, high school, like literally that's 22
funny.
years. It's like graduating college, like
that is funny.
So that 1 to 22 years old is like
that's cool.
That's like setting your life up.
That's cool. That's funny.
Years. So that's crazy. But the Bucks will take care of business. And then Pats, I got number 1. Like as I said, actually not too long ago. Pats should definitely take care of Jacksonville. Jacksonville is just an atrocity of a team. They're just really pathetic. There's no guidance in that locker room. I don't even know who the interim head coach is right now. I just haven't looked. I don't know if he's trying to change things around, but it's obvious answer is the Pats for number 1. So that's my top 10. So if you want to put that in your bet,
parlay all 10. Put it.
$100 on it.
Well, yeah. Okay. Not that. All right. All right.
Go to RacPac.
All right.
Yeah. We're not responsible for your gambling losses.
Yeah.
If you win, just saying.
All right. All right. Well, I think that'll do it. Thank you, Nick, for being a guest. We appreciate you coming on. Long-time friend. We'll have you on again, I'm sure. So obviously you'll know this already, but gonna start uploading this earlier in the morning on Fridays. No Thursday games now, so it won't be too bad. It'll be nice. You'll get all the games. So, but that'll do it. We'll be up on Spotify and YouTube. YouTube for the video format, obviously Spotify for the audio format. Tweet out when it goes live, as we do every episode. Yeah, we appreciate
share.
Thanks everyone for watching and listening, and we always appreciate a like and a share and a
share, and we would really appreciate feedback too. If you want to leave us comments, reply to DM us on Twitter, whatever questions you may have that we could cover on here.
Topics
would be cool as well. About. Yeah, anything you want us to cover.
Hopefully everyone stays safe.
Last episode of 2021.
Yep. Yeah. Hope you guys have a happy new year. Yeah. Hope everyone's staying healthy. Hopefully we're all fully healthy by the next time we're on here. So yeah. But thanks for listening.
See you next year.
We'll see you next year. Later.